Hey, y'all, and welcome to day 39 of the WSOP and the fourth annual WSOP in All Vegas Poker Daily Spaces coverage. I'm Sherry Pluskota, aka Peaches, and yes, aka the White Oprah of the poker community, which I'm sorry, but I just can't stop saying that because it just tickles my funny bum. Please be reminded that we will always try to give the most updated and accurate information possible. But we are human and information is always fluid in the poker world, so please make sure to double check any information we provide to ensure yourself the best experience possible. And please correct us if we're wrong because we want to be right. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. It is free of charge, no paywalls, where you can find the recordings of my past daily spaces and interviews. Little shout out to Lexy Gavin Mathers. She did a video of her experience with the ladies event, and she included me and my quilt project in that video, which I appreciate that, Lexi, for sure. Looking forward to doing another one next year. Gonna probably revamp it as far as when I'm gonna do it because trying to do it with the ladies week and the meetup game and everything, it was a lot. So I'm gonna try to rethink that schedule for myself, but definitely planning on doing one for next year. Already have a few t-shirts to put on that quilt. So exciting for sure. Thanks again, Lexy Gavin Mathers, for including me in that video. Appreciate it. Lovely. Also, tomorrow we will have Pop-Up Poker join us for Pop-Up Poker Saturdays. So looking forward to what he has to tell us now that he's back at the WSOP playing some tournaments, and we'll see what he is up to. Also wanted to give a shout out and a thank you to Scotty with Horse Pools Play, who joined us yesterday and gave us the 411 on what he does and how we can get a hold of him. And also got some 411 on the Bet Bash that's coming up here in August. So was a interesting segment of the space for sure. Always enjoyed speaking with Scotty. He always has a wealth of information to share. I wanted to read Robert Mizrachi's tweet that he did the other day that I kind of forgot about reading, but I think it is really some good advice going into the main event starting. And here's what he wrote. To get a deep run in the main event at the WSOP, you have to stay focused, willing to gamble, play small pots, study your table, eat healthy, stay hydrated, and exercise. So, those are words of wisdom from Robert Mizrachi, and I appreciate that post from him. I think that is really good for folks to hear from somebody that is so accomplished at the poker table. So thank you to Robert Mizrachi for that. Don't forget, poker.org has a contest going on currently. You have to make a 3-person team and then pick and the bonus question is to give an amount of people that you think are going to enter the main event. That's the tiebreaker. And if you win that contest, you will get a $5,000 Aruba package to the Moneymaker event down in the Bahamas in September. Now, the one thing that did catch my eye about that is the deadline for that contest for you to submit your entry is 11 o'clock on July the 6th or the start of the day 2 of the WSOP main event. So people, think about that because the list of people they gave you, I don't know, like I didn't know this before I put my picks in. So can I go back in if one of my picks loses now before day 2 and change my team up? I don't know. But I wouldn't submit one until until day 1 is over so that you don't pick somebody that goes out on day 1. So that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. But I was a little surprised that those entries will be accepted until the start of day 2. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe you guys can enlighten me on the subject. But I would think that the entries should not be accepted after after the tournament already starts. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing here. Hey, Barry,
Good morning.
how are you?
Good. Trying to stay cool. 95 degrees here in New York.
Yeah, it's a
Figure
hot one.
no sense being awake during the day. I'll come in here and try and take a nap.
Good for you. Good for you. I've already been down to the pool with the grandbaby. Well, we figured out a routine: morning pool, out to lunch, do some stuff, then nap time, then the beach will be later, and then bedtime. So I think we finally figured it out on day 3, Barry.
Yep.
Finally figured it out. Any comments about this poker.org contest closing after day 2 starts?
I agree with you. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you should
I
just
don't get
hold
it.
hold off and put your entry in at the deadline.
Yeah.
Late reg.
Yeah, I didn't know it. Otherwise, I would have done that. And now I'm wondering, okay, if one of mine goes out, am I going to be allowed to go ahead and change my team? I don't know. Joey, what's up, buddy?
Oh my God, so electrified and just energized in a good way.
Awesome. What do you think about that contest and not closing its entry port until after the day 2 starts?
All I could say is the universe took care of me because I went to go log in with my same login and I was blocked. And when I did the forgot password, they weren't
Right?
sending me the email. They still haven't sent it to me. So somebody was looking out for me. But it's obvious now. Just wait until the very end, and just pick the not just the people that are still in, but the ones that have a chip stack.
Right.
They're making it easier.
Right. And I'm going to be upset if one of my picks goes out and I'm not going to be able to change it, but whatever. It is what it is. It's my fault for not paying attention before I submitted it for sure. I'm just doing too much to stop and really pay attention to one thing, but it is what it is. It's my own fault. Um, but yeah, I just found that curious. But anyway, here we are. I see Maureen down there. I hope you're doing well. I don't know what you're playing today. If you want to come up and talk to us, Maureen, we would love it. Get a little update on your poker. Um, I am also going to talk about yesterday. I brought up the 2 daily deep stacks at 250 at 1 p.m. and the 400 at 4 p.m. And I talked about how the numbers are growing and how many entries there are and what the prize pools are, because I really want people to look at those and the rate of return on those when thinking about what tournaments to play. And somebody brought up the rake. I think it was ASG brought up the rake of those 2 events. So I did look them up so that I could tell you what the rakes are for those 2 events. So the $250 daily at the WSOP has a 20% rake, and the 4 p.m. $400 daily at the WSOP has a 17.5% rake. So I did want to get back to you guys and let you know I looked them up, and that's what the rakes are for those 2 events. I am going to pause for a minute and welcome Maureen to the stage because we like to get our players in and out when we can. How are you, love?
Hi, how are you? Hi, everyone. I'm 0 Bailey's in at the moment. It's 9 a.m.
Oh, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so get your butt down and get a Bailey's.
Yes. So anyone who attended Sherry's meetup game will get that joke. Okay. So,
I love
okay.
it.
So serious poker. I actually played those daily deep stacks yesterday. I decided to late reg the 1 p.m. and there was 100-person wait list.
Wow.
So it took me about 35 minutes to get in. So I'm actually sitting here in bed thinking about what to do today. And this is the issue I see. So WSOP is probably going to prioritize tables, right? For the
Right.
landmark satellites into the main, for the main event, you have the $800 1B. What is it called? The Ultimate Summer or something.
Right.
So that's running today. So I personally think the daily deep stacks are going to be, less prioritized for seats. So I may play outside of the WSOP today since I'm not
Got
going to
it.
play the main.
Got it.
But I mean, I looked at the app about 20 minutes ago. 9 players were already registered for the 1 p.m. We haven't really seen caps this summer, but like I said, yesterday was already a 100-person wait list. And,
Crazy.
it's Friday before 4th of July. So I would just say, think about that when you're planning your schedule today.
Yes.
And I'm going to monitor that. So I'm going to plan to go off strip today.
Got it. Now, listen, I fell asleep listening to the $2,500 buy-in over at the Venetian. It was a ladies' event, and I fell
Mhm.
asleep when Daria Nunjin started, and I forgot to look up who won this morning. Who won?
Daria won.
Good for her. Is it
Yeah.
Kashenkova, I think, right? Daria
Yeah,
Kashenkova.
that's one name I can't say, but yeah, she's an absolute amazing player in my opinion. She basically plays online, so her Hendon Mob may seem small if people are listening, but
Right.
this girl is a definite crusher. She's an online pro, and she actually had a deep run. She final tabled the WSOP Europe Ladies event back in April. Um, I think she busted 5th or 6th place in that. So I was really happy to see her that she finally won the
Awesome.
title and a high roller. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm going to let Barry sneak in here because he's tired of holding up his hand. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah.
That's all good. No rush. They know how sneaky you are. So in the rules, it says you are allowed to edit and resave your team up to the day 2 deadline.
Oh,
So
nice.
you don't have to worry about it.
Thank you for that. We're talking about the poker.org contest where you have to pick out 3 players that you think are going to run deep in the main event. And then also the tiebreaker question is how many entries do you think the main event is going to get this year? So thank you, Barry, for that update. Because what do you think about that, Maureen? That you can actually enter your pick until the start of day 2.
I think it's fair because late reg is open to day 2. Um,
Got it.
yeah, it's okay for me because I think it's late reg is open for 2 levels of day 2, correct? You don't have to be
Yes.
there right for the beginning, exactly.
So
But
it makes no sense. Oh, go ahead.
I posted an article that basically since the inception of day 2 late reg, no one who has late reg day 2 has ever won the main event. So please keep that in mind.
Right on, sister. Right on. And back to that poker.org contest.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to register in that contest early. Just wait until the day 1 ends because at least you won't pick somebody that's lost on day 1, right? So you definitely want to use your brain on that one for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Uh,
Good tip.
Tell us how you did at South Point, Miss.
South Point. Oh yes, I jumped in the 300 multi-day. I think I made day 2 and I busted out around 165. One of the ladies from Europe, Sarah Cushion, she actually was part of the final table chop. But I still haven't seen the figures on that. But it was a crazy tournament, great value, $300 buy-in, and I believe 51K was slated for the winner.
Right, it is the
There,
$300,000 prize guarantee.
yeah, so definitely get there if you can. There's one more week. I think next week is the last time they run it this summer.
Right, correct. You are correct on that. So, did we make the money for crashing out at that level or what?
Yeah, so you actually play down to in the money on day 1, which is very nice. So everyone who returns for day 2 is already in the money.
Awesome. I love
Yeah,
giving those updates,
yeah,
so people can make those decisions when they are looking at stuff. They need to
y-
know all that stuff, right?
Yes, exactly. But listen, I actually have to finish getting changed because I'm flying out the door to play something at 10. I'm gonna try the South Point daily. So we're trying to get there for level 1.
Love it. Hey, take it down. Keep me updated, huh?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all you do. Goodbye, everyone, and I'll catch the rest of the replay.
Appreciate you, love.
Thank
Appreciate your
you.
help and keeping us updated. And good luck today. Kick ass, girl. Kick ass. Take names later. That is Maureen Bloklinger. She is she puts out the women's calendar, which tracks all the women ladies tournaments around the world, 12 months a year. It's a rotating calendar. She has the Globetrotting women's group and Globetrotting, just a group that everybody can join, where she updates on happenings all across the world in the poker world. So, Maureen Bloklinger, happy to call her friend. Oh, look, it's Isaac. Anybody know who this person is? Hmm. Let's see if we can figure out who this person is. I screwed up this morning, you guys, and I made the post about the space. And then I went to go share the link, and I ended up clicking on start the space instead of click the share the space. And so that's why I had to hurry up and do a take two for this space. But in that, first one, I had a little troll there for Isaac, saying, who is Isaac? It's been so long since we've seen the whites of his eyes. So, we have to troll him once in a while. What's up, Isaac?
Nothing much. Good morning. I'm alive, yo. Oh, fucking alive, yo.
Poor
Oh,
Isaac is burning the candle, and
ugh.
hopefully that's going to come to an end pretty soon, is it?
Yeah. We're almost there. We're almost there. But
Almost
oh
to
man,
the finish line, buddy.
yeah, I got some rest. Like last 48 hours. Thank goodness I forced myself to.
Good.
Yeah. Like I said, I could breathe. Hope everybody's
I
good,
hear
yo.
you. Okay, so tell me, because I'm going crazy myself. Tell me when the next game is for me, first of all.
Okay. The next game is the tier game. The tier game is coming up. I think. I think we for sure we pushed it because it had landed on the fourth, and
Okay,
we're not trying to do that. I saw the timer yesterday. Let me confirm right now while I'm looking.
okay.
Let's see. We got okay. The tier game is in 4 days.
So that's today's Friday,
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday,
It's
Monday,
Monday.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And when am I supposed to be minting my playful primates?
Well,
Right? Is that right?
I'll drop a little bit of something here that I know
Okay.
NFT people won't know, so we're safe here. We're safe. Um,
Okay.
okay, so at the end of the claim period for the SBT token that we have on MetaMask, the one that you
Right.
minted already, so
Yep.
that's gonna end on the 19th. Once that ends, we're
Okay.
gonna raffle off that pendant, right?
Awesome.
And then once we raffle off that pendant, immediately after that, we're gonna be announcing the mint. So just know that
Okay.
once we
Perfect.
announce the mint, we're probably not gonna take longer than a week or two.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That gives us a little timeline to be watching for news.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah,
Perfect.
we're
Go
getting
Green
there.
Visor Gang, go.
Ugh. I can't wait. I
I hear
can't
you.
wait. I can't wait.
I
Uh,
hear you, buddy. I hear you.
talk about a labor of love, right? But my goodness.
Absolutely. But you know why? That's why it's going to be good because it is a labor of love. You only get things that are productive and awesome because of labors of love. I mean, come on. You got the passion.
Oh man, boy, sure do. And let me tell you, the whole team is like wilding behind the scenes,
Oh,
trying to push everything, and get everything
sure.
ready and be, because yeah, it is one of those things. This is a big moment for us. It's our first PFP drop, which is major for
Right.
us. So we're
Right.
but we're super excited. We're super excited.
As you should be. You guys been working hard toward that goal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. But how's everything going
That's
today?
awesome.
I'm like for sure. I'm at least 72 hours behind. So I don't want to say shit, and then ASG is gonna hit me with some meme in the fucking DM. So I will.
Well, we'll keep you in line. We will keep you in line for sure. And I'm going to tell you what, we're going to kick it over to Joey for his poker lesson of the day because we're running just a few minutes behind on that. And then we're going to get down and dirty on some of these topics I have ready to go
Hell yeah.
for sure.
Hell yeah.
And yeah. So, Joey Gargiulo, teach us something, will
All
you, about
right.
poker, sir?
We're going to talk about the river today. In my book, The Poker Dance, is a chapter called The River Dance. And one of the things I wrote in that chapter is the river tells the truth. So this lesson today is about that. Not pre-flop theory, not what to do on the turn. Primarily, today is all about the river. It's the last card. It's the final piece of the public information. It's the moment where we all stop dreaming and the decisions become real. The river is different every street because, there's different decisions. But I'm sorry, the river is different than every other street because there's different decisions that need to be made because there's no more cards to come, right? We're no longer paying to improve. We're no longer drawing. We're no longer waiting for the deck to rescue us. By the river, our hand has become what it is and all that it's going to be, right? That's why this street is so expensive. Not because players don't know what beats what. Everybody knows, the ranking of the cards. But a lot of players don't know what to do with their pairs, their two pairs, their straights, their flushes. And the real danger on the river is an emotional attachment to our hands. So if we have a hand that looks great pre-flop and it looks great on the flop and we see bad in the turn, it looks great, and the river can change everything. And sometimes we need to understand that just because we started with the hand doesn't mean we have to end with that same hand, that we have to go down the drain with that hand. We get attached to the pot, don't we? We get attached to the story, and sometimes we get attached, our ego comes in play, and we get attached to the fact that when we looked at like the pocket jacks, kings, queens, aces, pre-flop, we tell ourselves, all right, this is the hand, this is my double up, this is the hand that's going to be the changing hand. And once we become emotionally attached, the river starts collecting rent from us, trust me. Because the river doesn't care how much we liked our hand on the flop. It doesn't care how strong we felt on the turn. It doesn't care how much we already invested. The river asks one question: what is true now? And that's like the river dance. It's a decision street, not a hope street. One of the biggest leaks that a lot of pros point out is calling the river because people are curious, right? You hear that all the time. I just have to see. I want to see it. Or they might be bluffing. Or we came this far. We don't call on the river because folding feels embarrassing. We call because the price, the player, the board, and the action tells us our hand is often good enough. And that's how you play professionally. You ask these questions. In the chapter I wrote, do not stay in the hand just because you started it. Do not stay in the hand just because you started it. And we really have to always, I had one of my mentees, I said, I want you to make that your screensaver on your phone. We do not stay in the hand because we started it. Because it's hard to let go. There's no rule that says just because we call the turn that we have to call the river. There's no rule that says because we raise pre-flop, we have to defend our pride. And there certainly is no rule that says just because we have aces, kings, top pair, or set early in the hand that we're entitled to a showdown. See, the river brings the new truth. And when the truth changes, the decision must change too. So we can't speak about the river unless we speak about price and the math. So once again, I'll go slow because I know without like graphics and stuff, we have to visualize. So before we make any kind of river emotional decision, we need to know the mathematics are behind it, all right? The formula is really simple to know whether or not you're getting a good price. The amount that you call plus the total pot after we call comes up with a percentage of how often we need to be right. The simple math. So in other words, 10,000 chip pot. Our villain bets 10,000, which means we have to call 10,000 to win a pot of 30,000. 10,000 is how much we have to call. 30,000 is how much we can win. 10,000 divided by 30,000 is 33.333333%. So in other words, if our opponent bets the pot, a pot-sized bet, we only have to be right 1/3 of the time to break even. Everything else is gravy. Understand that. All right? And without you, it's early in the morning for some people, or just some people just don't want to do math. It's I'll give you the cheats. So and this is why you often see, even though it's not PLO, you often see pros bet in terms of pot sizes on the river, right? We see that a lot. Half pot bets, pot size bets, quarter pot bets, over bets. So the simple cheat is this. We already just did pot size bet. You have to be right 33% of the time. If an opponent bets half pot, we only have to be right 25% of the time. Okay? In other words, you're betting 5,000 into a 25,000 chip pot. You only have to be right 25% of the time, and you make money. All right? And if an opponent overbets, let's say they make a bet twice the size of the pot, believe it or not, we only have to be right 40% of the time. So here's those three numbers again. Pot size bet, we have to be right 33% of the time. Half pot bet, we have to be right 25% of the time. Double size, of the pot, we have to be right 40% of the time. And if you know the math, then you can ask your question, how often is my opponent bluffing here? Because really what it comes down to is, do they have it or are they bluffing? It's only can be one or two things. And are they bluffing off enough for us to make any money by calling? And if they're not ever a player who ever bluffs, then we know exactly where we're at. We're not trying to bluff catch. But if it's a player who's demonstrated over and over and over again that they do these polarized bets on the river that scream either they have it or they're bluffing, and we've seen them get caught in the bluffs, well, now we can tango with them, right? Now we can waltz with them. But asking the question they might be bluffing, that's just not enough. Bad river calls usually come from vague thinking. Oh, I think they might be bluffing. No, that's not enough. We need to ask, what bluffs do they have? What draws missed? Would this player bluff those missed draws? And have we seen the aggression before? So that's really, really important. A lot of river pain comes from misunderstanding what kind of hands we actually have and what kind of ranges our opponents might have had that got there. So it's when it comes down to betting now, right? There's only two types of bets on the river: value or bluff. So let's say we're the one doing the betting, right? When we bet for value, what we're basically saying is we want worse hands to call us. When we're bluffing, we're basically saying we want better hands to fold. So let's look at the first one. We're betting for value. We want worse hands to call us. This is where, in our previous lessons, we talked about this. We're always talking about know thy opponent, right? If we have a calling station, well, we can up the price of that value bet. Sometimes the value bet might be an all-in shove because we know that this is the opponent that never folds. So if we have the nuts, we want to get value out of it, we can bet the entire pot. No, we can go all in, and sometimes certain opponents, we know who they are, will call us. And honestly, they don't even believe that we have the nuts. Sometimes they think that we're bluffing. But but that same opponent, you never want to bluff because your bluff's never getting through. If that makes sense. Now, if it's a tighter player, a more skilled player, a professional player, your ATM machine is the thin value bets. Sometimes it's one chip, one big blind, because two big blinds might scare that player away. But one big blind might be just enough where they're like, how could they possibly not call this value? Thin value bets are often missed. A lot of people check when they should be betting very, very thin. Because people check because they're afraid that they might be raised and now they're not going to realize their equity. No, we need to be brave here. When we really feel like we have the best hand, it doesn't have to be the nuts. But I'll give you an example. You have ace king and the flop comes king 7-9. Okay? And you see bet the flop, the opponent calls, the turn is a 2, you bet again, they call, the river comes and it's a brick. There's no straights, no flushes. You have top here, right? Top. And this person has been calling all along. Maybe they're hiding a set, but they're probably not. Okay, maybe they have two pair, but they probably don't. They probably have second pair and they're looking for a two pair. Or maybe they just don't believe that you had a king. Some players you can get by with a pot-sized bet and they'll call you, but a lot of players at this point are about to surrender. But if you put this wishy-washy little bet out there that screams, I don't have a king, I have second pair, you will be called and thin value and you will get paid. And let me tell you something, all those thin value bets that we win, those little pots, add up. A lot of people are missing how thin value prints money. Now, the river bluffing, the story has to make sense. You cannot, on a paired board with flush draws out there where you were checking, all of a sudden fire a bluff on the river and expect to be called. But if you're in position and somebody bets pre-flop and you call and the flop comes out with draws on it and you call and the turn still has a draw and you call, and on the river the draw gets there, whether you have the draw or not, it's going to be very, very difficult for your opponent not to believe that your draw came out because it looks like you were on the draw. Meanwhile, you might be holding pocket jacks on a ace-high board. They don't know that. You're drawing to find another jack. You're set hunting, but it doesn't look that way. And if it looks believable, that's how our bluffs get through. And then yesterday we talked about the formula. It's the same formula, right? If you bet pot, your bluff only has to be right 1/3 at a time. If you bet half pot, your bluff has to be right 1/4 at a time. If you overbet it, it's like double pot, it's got to be right 40% at a time. It's the same math, but in reverse. I don't want to get any deeper in this because I gave a lot of info, but the bottom line is that the river is a magical place because it's where we print money. It's also where we save money by making the hero folds. Very, very important. So we're going to leave it at that, Sherry.
All right. Thank you so much for that lesson. Appreciate those words for sure. Pondering it as I speak. What's your lesson tomorrow going to be, Joe?
Tomorrow, I can't believe it's the 4th of July. We're going to talk all about tilt. Oh, and we've got some stories about tilt, and I don't know how many of them I might unleash or not unleash. There's a chapter in the polka dance called the Tilted Tango, and there's an art to navigating tilt. There's also an art to putting people on tilt. So we'll just talk about a little bit of everything.
Right on. All right, we'll look forward to that. And thanks again for this lesson today. The river dance. The river dance. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yo, that was a great one, Joey. That was a great one, bro. Quick question though. Quick question. In your lesson, I was hearing you say that you were like now a tighter player, a more professional player. So, is there a pro that's a calling station? I'm just curious. Probably wrong, but
D-Negs.
yo,
Mm.
Uh, also, what's his name? Um, Tom Dwan.
yo, Tom DeWan though is a
Come on.
special one.
I know, but he's a calling station. Come
Mm.
on.
Yo,
Yeah, and you know what? When Phil Hellmuth's ego is through the roof, he's a calling station too. If you ever noticed
oh,
that.
he gets
And
wrecked.
in cash, you can say even Alan Keating is a calling station in cash.
Oh God,
Yes,
I like
true.
Keating and Cash though.
Mhm.
We all do.
Man, I gotta say, I went through one of those 1 hour videos where you see all of his like wildest plays. Man, just wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He's impressive for sure.
So that's the interesting. I've
All
always
right.
thought about that about versus tournament players, cash players. Like a tournament player being a calling station, bad idea. Cash player being a calling station, bad idea. Interesting.
Depends on your pool, on your purse, doesn't it?
Hell, man,
Depends
Sherry,
on your
you
purse.
ain't never
Come
lied,
on.
Sherry. You ain't never lied. Hey, real quick, everybody, y'all saw Homeboy who played the Curb Your Enthusiasm uh theme song as he was like going all in. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that?
No.
This player, he literally put it on his phone. He
No
went all
way,
in,
dude.
and then he played dun dun dun. Yeah.
Oh my God. Send that to us.
I'm
Come
gonna find
on.
it right now. I'm gonna find it right
Oh
now.
my
Okay.
God, that's hilarious. All right, I'm going to read a couple of tournaments around town so we can get some of that out of the way. And then we're going to go on to some of these hot topics I've written down this morning. And it's not hot slots this morning, but some hot topics that I'd like for us to get into. So let me get some of these tournaments out of the way for us. Over at the Orleans at 11 o'clock is their main event 1E, and also at 1700 hours is main event 1F. $600 buy-in, $500,000 guarantee. And then at 1600 hours over at the Orleans, they have a satellite into the main. It's $120 buy-in, no guarantees. Don't forget when you're going over to the Orleans to double check if they have any add-ons. Okay, Orleans Nugget does add-ons, and so does Westgate. So just double check that information before you head over, so that when you get there, you're not upset about not knowing about add-ons. Over at South Point today at 10:10 a.m. is the No Limit Tournament. Our friend Maureen's going to enter as a $120 buy-in, 15K guarantee at 1400 hours and 10 is their Crazy Pineapple Tournament, $120 buy-in, 6K guarantee at 1810 hours is their No Limit Tournament, $200 buy-in, 20K guarantee. And at 2200 hours and 10 is their Nightly Turbo Bounty, $25 bounty is $120 buy-in with a 4K guarantee. Over at the MGM Grand at 11 o'clock is their Big O PLO 8 PLO tournament, $600 buy-in, 40K guarantee. At 1800 hours is their PLO 8 tournament, $250 buy-in, and that is a 10K guarantee. Over at the Aria today is main event day 2. I'll spit it out eventually. 12 o'clock over at the Aria, $3,500 buy-in. There is no guarantee. 1900 hours is their no limit tournament over at the Aria, $300 buy-in. $25,000 guarantee over at the Venetian at 1010 is their no limit bounty. It says $200 dash $500 in the money. So does that mean it starts out with $200 bounties, and then once you're in the money, the bounties go up to $500? I'm not really sure. It's an $1,100 buy-in, $200,000 guarantee. If somebody wants to look that up over at the Venetian, I would appreciate that additional information. Over at the Wynn today, Horse Day 2 starts at 12 o'clock, $1,100 buy-in, 50K guarantee. Also at the Wynn is their PLO Mystery Bounty Day 1C at 1 o'clock, $3,000 buy-in, $2 million guarantee. And at 1800 hours at the Wynn is their Turbo No Limit Tournament, $1,100 buy-in, $100,000 guarantee. Don't forget at Mandalay Bay today, 1 and 8 p.m. is a $60 tournament. No guarantee, 10K starting stack, 15-minute blinds. So that's the poker going on around town. Let's get into some hot topics that I know some folks are waiting to talk about. And I'm going to welcome ASG to bring up any hot topic that he. Okay, before we start this, let me just say we are not promoting a cable company that is hosting the main event. Let me repeat that. We're not mentioning it because I'm not promoting it. I'm just not. There's a paywall. I'm not promoting the name of the platform it's going to be aired on. So, okay. That being said, ASG, what topic would you like to bring up first?
Okay, well, I'm confused on that one, but I mean, we promoted the paywall all year last year. But anyway, I guess Martin Cabral cashed and was playing in 3 separate tournaments yesterday, and then won the online bracelet one. Some people were joking around that they put Martin on his fantasy team, and the one bracelet he won was for the one that didn't count. But
I'm a little disappointed he didn't shake hands with one of his opponents yesterday.
well,
It's
and
kind
then
of
he
rude.
commented with the lady he was heads up with that she was the only person who was nice to him. So I don't know what was going on during the table because no coverage, etc. Speaking of no coverage, that's the other controversial thing is WSOP.com ended their coverage because their production had taken over, so nobody was showing Dean Eggs's 8th bracelet win.
Yeah, there should have been an overlap. I don't know why they didn't continue the coverage until, well, yeah, I do. It's money. Let's just face it. It's all about the money. It's not about players or growing the game. Come on. It's about the money. And, am I the only one wondering how much per new sign up for subscriptions to the cable company for this main event watching? What's the percentage they're getting in kickback? Am I the only one wondering that? Um, you know, Main event starts and we're all excited and now we're like, oh, we got to pay to watch it. Oh, had I known that, I would have been promoting that all year. Don't forget, we have to pay for it. So people are prepared. I'm not the only one that didn't connect the dots. Lots of people are saying, wait, we have to pay? I didn't know we have to pay. Wait, we're paying for the coverage? I mean, it's just about getting the information out there, truth and reporting people. That's what you know, yeah, I'm just a little discouraged that that's how we disseminated the information without saying, and don't forget, we have to pay for this. Now
Well, I
we're
thought
looking at this as, well, just a minute. Let me just finish for a minute. Looking at this from the beginning when we found out that company was going to cover the WSOP. That, oh my God, this is so exciting because it's good for the game. Like we feel like we need that extra publicity to get it out to the masses, to get those rec pit players to come join us, to get new players to come join us. Well, what new player or somebody that's on the cusp of becoming a new player is going to know, oh, I need to subscribe to this channel so I can go watch the WSOP? The whole point is that they're just going to be flipping through channels and discover, oh, poker's on. Let me check it out. Or, oh, I heard poker's going to be. I mean, how many people do you really think are going to pay for that subscription to watch the WSOP that are not already poker players and knee deep in it?
well and they announced they showed how the schedule was going to work for a while, and how you're going to get the casuals is that they're going to have the edited days on before the final table, and then the final table is going to be live on the main channels. So it's kind of basically similar to how it was when they had it before, just before ESPN Online was a free service. Now ESPN Select is a more of a premium service, but in terms of the edited shows and how they did it, it's a very similar fashion to how they did it when they had the right
Okay,
previously.
I think I asked for those names not to be mentioned. So I'm going to cut you slack on those
Well, I mean,
two
like, just to
mentions right
explain
there.
how the channels
I'm
work, it's
just going to cut you
public
slack
channels.
on
Yeah.
those two. I'm going to let you slack on those two mentions. but next time I'm muting them. I'm just letting everybody know that's how serious I am about not promoting it. And I say that because I'm trying to send a message that, hey, we deserve to just be told straight out what the hell's going on. Now, I'm going to say that I made a tweet earlier that Winamax, you can go on that French station and watch the WSOP, and it's not on a paywall. You can watch it in French. Now, that would also help so that we're not discriminated against the seniors and women, because I'm not sure that asshole knows how to speak French. So if you want to watch it in French and just shut off the sound, you can. Or if you know French, you're lucky you do. That's a language I've tried several times to learn. My brain doesn't wrap around it. Kudos to you. You can watch on Winamax for free and not even buy the paywall. So, yeah, I'm a little upset on behalf of people that didn't know. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't even know if I have those channels at home. I'm going to tell you right now. My kids set my cable up. I have 10 million channels. I probably have those channels. But that's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make is when we are telling people how amazing it is that we're going on back on this cable network, how amazing that is for the world of poker and to advance our game, we should also have been telling them, look, don't forget it's behind a paywall. You're going to have to sign up. So guess what? Get signed up early so when the main event starts, you're not trying to sign up for the coverage. You're already ready. Sort of like the WSOP app. Sign up ahead of time before you go to Vegas so you're ready. You're not wasting your time when you're in Vegas trying to download that app and learn about it. Same thing we could have been saying here. Hey, folks, this is behind a paywall. You got to sign up. Make sure you get your subscription, whatever, so that when the coverage starts, you're ready to go. You're not fumbling the ball trying to figure out how to get it, which a lot of people were doing and have been doing, and that's why they're upset. So don't misunderstand where I'm coming from, folks. Don't misunderstand it. Are you going to watch in French, Barry, or what are you doing, Barry?
Yeah, I never liked watching poker anyway. Even if you have the regular basic cable, that sports network channel in your package, if you want the plus version, it's extra.
Right. And I think two people have written two different things on my tweets. One person said $29.99. The other person said $12.99. I honestly have no clue. So if somebody knows the price and wants to tell us the price, please do. Because I don't. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, two things. I want to circle back to the Martin Cabral situation because Colette and I were at the rail, and there's a bigger story that nobody
Yes.
knows. But also, if you have the Disney app, you get the ESPN
Yes.
WSOP channel for free, which is kind of cool.
Did he just mention that name too? Strike one.
Yes. All right. All right. So Martin
All right,
Cabral.
Joe. Joe,
Yeah.
do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. All right. Martin
Go
Cabral.
ahead, buddy.
All right. Let me paint the
Go
picture.
ahead, buddy.
You have
Yes, sir.
the three main feature tables, the ones that were off limits, right? Last week, because they were refelting them, are all the
Yes.
feature tables for
Yes,
the
sir.
main event, which leaves only two tables available in Paris. One of them obviously was occupied by D-Negs. The other one was slated for the triple low ball table where that was another final table, right? Where Alan Kessler was at. But it wasn't there yet. They were down to like 11 people.
Right.
So imagine you're somebody, you never really played live before, or you win this online hybrid of final table. You show up thinking you're going to be under the spotlight with the media, and you're at a WSOP bracelet event final table. And then you find out they put you all the way in Horseshoe in the event center in that little final table where they put the deep stack final table. No media coverage, no cameras, yada, yada, yada. And then you find out that one of the players, you don't even know his name, but he's a very loudmouth player, is in another event in that room. So the first assumption that player made is that there's extra special treatment for certain players. Now, what this player didn't know is that Martin was in two events. other than this online bracelet event. He was in the 3K freezeout, which was taking place in the Paris ballroom. So if WSOP really wanted to accommodate Martin, they would have found a table in that room. But no, they sent him a freaking half a mile hike away from that table, which happened to be in the same room as the 600 deep stack. All right. So it wasn't like they put him there on purpose, but this player had a vendetta against the floor, bitching, complaining, left and right. And then he was overwhelmed a little bit by Martin. Now, Martin has a media crew that is approved. They have media passes because he has a YouTube channel. So his people are allowed inside of this little
Right.
final table area. So this player thought that Martin was getting extra special treatment, that like it was the Martin Cabral show. No, this was an approved media people that were in there. And then he started to needle Martin. When Martin would be in a hand, now let me back up, let me backpedal. Martin was being very respectful. When other people were in a hand, Martin was being quiet. But every time Martin was in a hand and this gentleman was not in a hand, this gentleman would take that time to bitch as loud as he could to the floor. It got to the point where Martin didn't get a warning. This other player got the warning.
Okay, let me
He was the
stop
villain at the table, and
let me
that's why
stop for a
Martin didn't
minute.
shake his hand.
Okay, do we know the name of this other player?
No, because I'll tell you what's so crazy. Even the payout people don't know names because people have online screen names. Like, I guess
Okay,
now
so
we can
what
probably go back and
position,
see.
so what position did he go out?
Fourth place.
Fourth place. Okay. So we could look up fourth
Right, we
place.
could figure it out. But this gentleman was the villain at the table. Martin was not the villain. The rail was, we were at D-Neg's rail for a little while. D-Neg's rail was 3 people deep. Martin's rail was 7 people deep.
Well, and the thing about it, and we saw this last year with the coverage, that the coverage was framing Martin in a particular way for clicks and views. And then when Martin got in trouble, all of a sudden they're like, oh, we didn't know. Oh, what? They, try to keep their hands clean like they didn't have a part in it, when in fact they were a big part in the fact that how that progressed last year. And so now we look at this, and unless Joey is telling us about it, do we even know that the aggressor was actually the gentleman who Martin would refuse to shake his hand because he was an aggressor? And guess what? Now we made Martin look like an idiot and a fool because we're saying, oh my God, he didn't shake the opponent's hand, versus he didn't shake the opponent's hand because the opponent was being a jerk to him for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big difference in the story and truth and reporting, isn't it?
It really is. And the media didn't show up until they were heads up. And let me tell you, talk about, he was heads up against a woman. And do you know who the women's number one fan was? The entire final table? It was Martin. Martin was rooting for her from when they were 9-handed. And he even made a prediction. It's going to be you and me heads up. We're going to knock out the villain. We're going to knock out the Frenchman whose rail is so loud, like they're at a soccer game. And he's like, I'll let you do it. And he did. And when they were heads up, she was the chip leader because she knocked the third place, the Frenchman, out. He was everything opposite of what everybody thinks. And you had to be
Right.
there to witness it. Yeah.
And that's really kind of a shame because Martin gets himself in trouble and makes a fool of himself enough without us just assuming he did something wrong because he didn't shake hands with the person. I mean, all of us, I'm pretty sure, made the assumption it was his fault that he didn't shake the guy's hand. And honestly, I'm not saying he still shouldn't have, but he had reason why he refused to, for sure,
And it was
and
the same thing.
understandably so.
And it was the same thing with Sean Deeb earlier. Where we didn't know what was whatever, but when apparently they didn't. These two guys got into each other heads up, and they're like, "Oh, when he lost heads up, he didn't shake hands." And
Right.
but
Right.
I mean, we'll see. Deeb was able to the next day give an interview where he explained what happened in his opinion, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's really kind of It's really kind of not, it's not a good look, I don't think, for us to be able, I'm sorry, hold on a minute. Sorry, you guys. We got them coming in for breakfast, bringing me breakfast, and so on and so forth. So they're like, "Oh, she's still on air," and trying to be quiet, which I think makes it even louder because they're trying to be quiet. Okay, um, I'm sorry, I've lost my train of thought. I agree with what ASG is saying too. It happened with Deeb that we assumed certain things, and then the next day he did explain to us exactly what was going on. And so I think we just all need to be more careful. And maybe when we see, if we're there and we see, Mark not shaking somebody's hand, maybe we should right underneath that post say, "Oh, that's not exactly what happened, people. Maybe you need to check it out a little bit further, because it's not fair to Martin to lead people to believe one thing when in fact another is." And guess what? We're doing it for clicks and views, which to me is the most vile reasons. But anyway, go ahead, Isaac.
Did I forget what I was gonna say? I might. Oh, no. I
Probably.
put the post up top. The post is up top
Oh, thank you.
about the player with the Curb Your Enthusiasm shit. That shit was hilarious.
I can't wait to watch
I
that.
don't know
Of
what
course, I'm
names
not
I'm
going to
not
try
supposed to
now.
mention, so I'm gonna be very careful about what I'm about to say right now.
Okay, wait a minute. Time out, time out, time out. Okay, first of all, I was doing it to prove a point, which I think everybody's gotten the point. I don't give a shit about ESPN or ESPN Plus being said on the show. I was just trying to make a point. So please say it as many times as you want to, people. Please.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
the streaming service that will not be mentioned. The one thing that I realized is that, see, we're happy that they're back on the network that will not be mentioned, but um the thing is like, 20 years ago, they only had one version of themselves, right? And that's one thing I don't like about 2026. Why there gotta be four versions of the same shit? Why is there gotta be so many versions of the same stuff, yo? Like, why can't it just be the network is the network is the network? All this sub networking shit. And I blame MTV for this shit because when they came out with MTV2, I feel like they ruined the world. I really do. So,
Well, it's about the dollar bill,
oh
right?
yeah, of course,
About
but
the
it
damn
sucks
dollar
because
bill.
in a way, they're not like, instead of it being something towards you're proud of the fact that you're back on a major like network, you're really not. You're actually in a niche streaming service. So what the fuck is the point of not just being on YouTube for that matter, right? But yeah.
Now, I've said this for the last 2 years. This is the second year we're having the app. How long is it going to be before that app goes behind a paywall? Go ahead, ASG.
Okay, so I I'm trying to explain this as much as we can, but like similar to the CBS Sports channel, you got to compare it to more like that, like where yes, the live streaming of the most of the days is behind the paywall, but then on uh ESPN and ESPN2, or actually on ESPN2, they're going to show the episode versions all before the final table. And then the final table will be live on ESPN2, and then uh, on ESPN. So, and then those edited, we'll see also how much those edited episodes are then re-aired and re-aired and re-aired. That's the big deal, is the episodes, not so much
Okay,
the live
so
coverage.
am I ever going to be able to watch every minute of the main event, or is that gone out with the bathwater?
That's what the live coverage on on the paid part is now. Is that.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Barry.
Isaac, you there?
Yes, I am.
How was that steakhouse and why wasn't I invited?
How was the steakhouse and why weren't you invited?
Oh, Mac went to one. Mac. It was Mac that went, not
Okay.
Isaac.
No, you're talking about the Stefanos. Yo, Barry.
Yeah.
That's like an NFT stronghold right now. The dude who owns it, his name is Jed. He's also I guess he CTO'd a project called the Regenerates. So he's been having all types of Web3 shit there. But if you want to go, let me know, bro. I've been trying to get you and Mac to link, bro, because I know Mac wants to do some shit out there, poker wise, for NFT NYC. So most definitely need to get you two together.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Joey, you have anything else on that topic? Coverage, whatever. Forgive me, I'm eating people.
No, well, I can. Just the Martin thing was very electrifying. And by the way, he punted his other stacks, and I'm not sure which event it was, but more than one person that was in that event said he was pretty close to being the chip leader in one of the other events that he punted the stack because he really, really felt hyper focused on this final table that he felt like he would win his. I think it was his sixth bracelet, and yeah, I mean. Not many players can say that they woke up one morning and they're in the money in 3 different events at the same time, right? That's insane.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little story about a Miami John. He was in Atlantic City and he was playing an event and he registered for another event and he was playing both of the events at the same time. One was a limit event, the other was a no limit event. And Barry, if I get anything wrong, please interrupt me. And he was final tabling both events. They moved the 2 final tables next to each other so he can go from one table to the next. And he won both of those events, Joey.
Oh my God, that is so incredible. That really is.
And when you hear him tell the story, it almost just seemed like another day at the office. I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing. And he's like, yeah, they didn't have many people wanting to play. So I thought I would help them out, and play that event too at the same time. And like, it was so incredible to listen to him tell the story. Yeah, I mean, anybody that does that, hats off to him. Hats off to him for sure. Barry, did you want to add anything about Miami, John?
Nah, I mean, if more people listen to your interview with him, he might get a quicker induction into the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to repost that video. I think that's a great idea. And if you don't even know who I'm speaking about, just go to my YouTube channel and look up my interview with Miami John and please listen to it. He was playing poker. He passed away last year and he was playing poker up until the month he passed away. And he was still winning tournaments. Like at 80, I want to say it was 83 when he passed. And he was still winning tournaments. So he definitely stood the test of time and longevity in the poker world, playing the highest of stakes, tournaments, cash, whatever. He was the record holder as far as the most cashes in the world. Since then, somebody's broken that record. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't know the Miami John story, I highly recommend you go listen to my interview because it's so fascinating. Like everybody knows I love to listen about, old stories from Vegas, old stories about poker players or whatever. And I love when the poker player themselves are telling us those stories. And that's what that interview is. And, I miss my friend for sure. God rest his soul. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, my Miami John story supports another reason why he should be in the Hall of Fame. So I was in this '08 Stud 8 tournament at Wynn. I make the final table, and now I don't really know anybody because I'm from the East Coast and shit, and kind of recognize somebody, and this really nice elderly gentleman walks over to me, pulls me over. He goes, "Hey, you're Italian?" I'm like, "Yeah, my name is Joey." He introduces himself as Johnson, and I'm like, "This is Miami John I'm playing with at the final table." Do you know he gave me a coaching session before the final table started? And he even told me, be careful of the guy to your left. His name is Ari Engel. This is what he tells me. I don't know who Ari Engel is. He went out of his way to actually give me advice at the same final table I was at with him because he saw I was a no limit hold'em player out of my element. I mean, that speaks volumes. Who does that? But Miami John did.
Somebody that loves the game of poker, make sure that to ensure some new players come along, right? Like amazing,
100%.
right?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm happy that I like to say I had a little part in him getting on the slate last year for the Hall of Fame. I had been pushing his name for 2 years and we finally got him on the slate. Unfortunately, he was not inducted, but he was very excited when his name got on the slate. And of course, those of us that know him or support him and his poker or fans of his, you know, we're excited he was on the slate too and disappointed he didn't make it into the hall before he passed for sure. But guess what? Hopefully that's going to be rectified in the next few years. And next year, like Barry said, we're going to make sure that interview gets reposted and we start pushing his name again. Same thing with I want to talk about that for a minute. They talk about wanting public opinion. That's why we're able to submit nominations to the Hall of Fame and through the process, right? And I was thinking about this the other day. People like Matt Savage and Mike the Mouth Manisal, they've gotten on the slate. I think Mike has been on it like 12 or 13 times, and Matt's been on it like 9 or 10 times. The public is trying to send a message to the Hall of Fame that these two deserve to be in the Hall. Why aren't they listening? Why aren't the Hall of Fame members listening? The public is saying through those nominations that many years that we want those people inducted. So why aren't the Hall of Fame members listening to us? I just don't get it. We're like, the public is saying these two deserve it. Why don't you people that are voting on it feel the same way? And if you're looking for public opinion, there it is. The fact that they've been on the slate that many times should tell you that's who the public wants inducted. Like, am I lost in that? Go ahead, ASG.
I slightly disagree in the why don't you feel the same way, just because, as I tried to, bring up with the question that you asked for me, that like they don't do individual up and down votes, so it's not why doesn't this person, why don't you feel this person is whatever. It's why aren't they the top vote getter amongst the entire slate of finalists? So that's my only counter to that, because like let's say in 20 whatever year, you listened to the interview to what was it, 2012, 2013, whatever year it was that they took the media vote away, and then they only put in one person. Supposedly Matt Savage was the second
Number
number
two.
two,
Yep.
and then they, the rule people decided that we're only going to induct one person. Now that doesn't, the fact that Matt's number two means they think he should get in. It's just, he didn't get as many votes as Lane Flack. So yeah, that's my slight counter to that.
So noted. Go ahead, Barry.
And now you got fucking fat entitled assholes who think just because they turn 40 years old, they should be in the Hall of Fame. Let them wait 10 fucking years.
Oh man, Barry's coming in hot. You almost made me choke on my food. I need a little warning before that shit, buddy. Oh, Barry's coming in hot. Coming in hot. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Anybody else have anything to say about that topic before I move on?
I'll
Go
throw in
ahead.
with Barry there, because we kind of brought it up yesterday, but like, part of a certain, actually part of many, pretty much everybody's people's resumes and qualifications is how many bracelets you've won and how many player of the years you won.
Right.
But if the same year you win 1 to 2 bracelets and you win player of the year, that same year, forget your entire lifetime resume, that same year that you've won those bracelets and won player of the year, You're down hundreds of thousands of dollars. Is that a Hall of Fame resume year?
Point well made. Point well made. It's a lot of food for thought for sure. There's lots of different ways to look at it. Um, but I feel like the Hall of Fame can basically do whatever the hell they want to do. They proved that to us last year, whether people want to admit it or not. They can do whatever the hell they want to do when they want to do it. And to me, I'm looking at those folks that are the Matt Savage and Mike the Mouth in particular, who have been on the slate so many times. And to me, that's a message from the public to the Hall of Fame that we feel like they deserve to be in it. And so, whatever, people. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, to agree with ASG. These guys, I mean, of course, they're great, excellent, the top of their game, outstanding players. You put them in 200 events, they're going to win too. I mean, by accident, they're going to stumble into two bracelets. As good as
Right.
these guys are, some of them can't play a full schedule. Some of them, like ASG said, are going to be down hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Right.
even after winning two bracelets. It's easy to play for free when you get put in these events and you're sponsored and you could just travel and just play everything.
All right.
You're going to stumble into bracelets and rings and trophies and things. So
I agree.
it's a bad way to keep score, I think.
I agree. I totally agree. Okay. I want to go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, I just want to finally agree because I somewhat mentioned, but also to even further highlight the Matusow aspect. I'm not a huge Mike Matusow and the Hall of Fame fan, but I'll go to even a further extreme. It was somewhat brought up in the Poker News interview with Matt Savage, but I don't think fully, explored. Maybe it was just like one question's worth. But the media used to have a vote
Right.
in the Hall of Fame, and the reason why, or a contributing reason why it was taken away, is because due to the media vote, Chris
Moneymaker.
Moneymaker got
Yeah.
into the Hall of Fame. Otherwise, if it was just up to the players and the former Hall of Fame members, Chris Moneymaker would still not be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So,
and I'm going to tell you, I agreed with them taking the votes away from the poker media. I never thought that the poker media should have been voting in that contest anyway. So when they took that away, I was like, yes, that is, because it became a popularity contest and it shouldn't be. It should be on achievements and what they've, been doing in the world of poker the last however decades, whatever.
Okay, well then if you take out the popularity contest, I think that's where you lose Mike Matusow in my opinion. But okay.
Well, and see, you don't think Mike's record stands the test of time?
Not compared to a bunch of others.
Who would you say not compared to?
Well, there's everybody in where you have the borderline somewhere. There's people who are still waiting to get in that are legends. Like I'd put Ted Forrest ahead of. Like I just look at Matusow. He doesn't have like as many bracelets as the up and coming people coming in. If you're going to call that what is the test of time or whatever? That's the other issue with waiting till now is like, yeah, his resume doesn't stand up compared to even the people who are 40, just like he was huge and popular back during the TV days.
Well, I think he's being held back because of his whole, you know, the whole drug thing and all that stuff. And, I'm kind of the mindset that he had a big impact on the world of poker. He's played the highest of stakes. He is a bracelet winner. There is no, you have to have X amount of bracelets or not or whatever. It is a litmus test, but it's not the only one. But I also think um, I acknowledge him for turning his life around. And for me, I'm like, you know what? he's turned his life around, but he's also a very accomplished poker player that deserves to be in the hall. So that's just my 2 cents. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, I second that about Mike. Like if those not familiar with his story, with the accident that happened and stuff, and how literally like his life was pretty much for many people, their life would have been over after that accident. Yet he somehow turned everything around, and and every day is a struggle for him. People don't know how much pain he's in, and the accident was horrendous.
It was a bad accident for sure. I I just try to, I just try to look at the poker accomplishments to me is the priority. And then we have to look at the person, right? And there are definitely people that we can say, and I'm sure somebody's going to blurt out the name when I say this, but we can definitely look at people that we're like, yeah, they have the poker accomplishments, but they're horrible as a person. Do we want them in the Hall of Fame? Because they're so horrible as a person. Whether they be accused of cheating or stiffing people on staking packages or whatever, they're just horrible people. So it is a dance or a waltz that we make all the time when we're talking about different players, because we all know there are some players that are already in the Hall of Fame that are not very, they weren't good people and they, committed crimes or whatever. And so is the standard higher now that we're just going to base it on poker and nothing else? Or, I mean, there's a lot to think about when you think about the Hall of Fame and where we're going with it and what do we want it to represent and who do we want it to be represented by when they get in that Hall of Fame. So, welcome, John. Go ahead, buddy.
I just have a question. Do people does the consensus of this group that moneymakers shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame? Was that what? Because that's what it sounded like was going on when you guys were talking about the media vote. I'm just curious.
I think he should be under the whatever that last one is, the similar to how Matt Savage are getting it, and just like
Ambassador.
yeah.
So that's a different. Okay.
I
Like
mean,
I just
like not as like I don't think he's good enough of a player, but I think he's been enough of an ambassador and a contributor with it, with his win and then everything else. That I think
sure
yeah.
that's kind of my take on it. Like as a player, he's probably not as great as a lot of people, sure, but like the whole moneymaker effect is named after him. I feel like that's a huge enough part that he deserves to at least be in the Hall of Fame for what he did for the game. That was my take.
Yeah, I think we all agree with you
Okay,
there, John.
okay. It just sounded
Yeah.
differently. That's why I wanted to come ask. I was like, that's crazy to me if people think he doesn't deserve a spot. Now, if you want to say he doesn't deserve a spot yet, that's fair. But I think at some point, that's all. I was just curious. My only other comment about the Hall of Fame is just like um, any institution only holds as much respect and authority as the people choose to give it, right? Like, so if you go to a university and that university ends up being garbage, then your degree loses some quality and weight, I suppose, in the eyes of those. So if the current Hall of Fame doesn't do what the public likes, you guys can just stop respecting them and then start your own, which I think would be the better thing, honestly, because I don't think the Hall of Fame should be solely World Series of Poker, but currently it is. So it is what it is.
I agree. Changes need to be made. And everybody knows I wish it was his own standalone 401(c) or whatever, charity. Build a museum, a poker Hall of Fame museum. I mean, I have lots of great ideas and I have no dog in the race. So I'm just a true fan of poker that wants the best for poker. And the Poker Hall of Fame is amazing and we should treat it as such. And it should be held to high standard and it should be utmost integrity and there should be no backdoor deals. And, the list can go on and on. But guess what? Let's lift it up to the stature we want it to be. It deserves to be. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, I was just looking up that has been washed up bum, Chris Moneymaker. What he won the main event for 2.5 million. He has over 8.5 million in earnings. He has 18 wins over his long, over 20-year career. I would say he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
He definitely deserves. But I think the point is, at the time he was inducted, people didn't think he deserved it yet. Yeah, he deserves it now. But back then, people thought he only got in because the media vote and that he wasn't deserving of that honor yet, is the
Wait.
point.
So we're saying that people in poker started drama about silly opinions and fought about it for no reason. That is shocking to me. That is
I
absolutely
know,
shocking to
dude.
me.
I know, dude. I'm with you.
Well, I think it's more that no, that even now the players would not have inducted him because they still prioritize the other better players ahead of any ambassadors to the game. That's why you don't see Matt Savage and you don't see Isai and you don't see Norman Chad. It is because they'll always want to induct uh, top players over ambassadors to the game if it's going to be one versus the other.
Of course. I agree. I agree. And hopefully, this new voting system, although we'll see, hopefully, this new voting system is going to help. And the way that's going to help is if that gentleman from, was it Poker Stars that rescued Full Tilt?
Yeah,
Um,
Isai.
Isai gets in this year, that proves that the new system is based to help those industry folks, get inducted. So we'll see. We'll see how all this washes out. I can't wait to see how the votes are tallied and released to the public as promised. All right. Anybody else have any comments on that last, hurrah about the Hall of Fame? Because I have some other stuff to bring up. And I'm first going to bring up our sleigh dog who
Right.
got a one hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say in final, I also thought it was interesting that Matt Savage brought up, and I noticed during the coverage when I watched after that, this is true when they introduced Phil Hellmuth, they don't say Poker Hall of Famer even
True.
anywhere in the discussion when they start to interview him.
Right. And Matt's suggestion was that every time a Poker Hall of Famer is doing an interview, they should be introduced as a Poker Hall of Famer. Now, I do that, but of course, I'm not Poker News or Poker.org or any of the other ones. I do when they come into my space for an interview and introduce them as Poker Hall of Famer, Scotty Wynn, or Poker Hall, because I think it is important that we recognize that. And you're right. Matt brought that up yesterday in his interview that when they're interviewing these Poker Hall of Famers, they're not introducing them as Hall of Famers. And it's really kind of a detriment to our game. But anyway, I agree, ASG. All right, I want to bring up our sleigh dog who got a one hand penalty yesterday for profanity. And is anybody surprised that it was over him talking with Gene Robert about Dan Bilzerian? I just giggled. But he took it on the chin and he said he deserved it and he didn't have a problem with it. But I really want to discuss, and I hope that Barry or ASG or anyone else that knows or has the knowledge base can explain to me. There was a video that Slate posted rapping, and I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's rapping to fill in. It looked like it was some type of prayer service, or I'm not sure what it was, but can anybody explain to me what that video was that Slay Dog
It's
posted?
more pronounced, I think, with a T and an S sound. Svillin.
Svillin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a prayer thing.
Svillin. So good for you, Slay, embracing your religion. I love it that you posted a video about it because now you got me asking questions and learning today, and I love to learn. So thanks, Slay Dog, and good luck, buddy, in Vegas playing that poker game we all love. Okay, Tyler Phillips, who we interviewed a few weeks ago, busted third. 3 hands away from making day 2 of the main event. Sorry, Tyler. He had pair of queens versus 6-4 of hearts. And the flop came out, flop and turn came out 2, 3, 4, queen. So he ended up out. God bless him. He didn't get a paired board. It ran out of straight, I guess. So sorry, Tyler Phillips. Also, the first person that went out of the main event, Anthony Marini, had Ace King versus Pocket Aces, not too far into the main event. So he is will forever be known as the first person out of the 2026 main event level 1. I don't think I want to be known for that. Bummer, for sure. Okay. Don't forget to tip Kevin Mathers when you see him around town, folks. He's working hard on our behalf. Give him whatever you can give. Give him whatever you can give, a 20 spot, a 50, 100, 10, whatever. Okay, let's talk about Doug Polk for a minute, shall we? He put out a tweet saying that he's stepping back. He's still going to be an owner in the lodge, but he's stepping back. Anybody got any comments on that? Come on, ASG. I know you've got a comment.
Not like I think maybe that deal with WPT Gold has made him more financially secure. That he now no longer needs to like be as active. That's just speculation. There's also, after the whole stuff with the law he's dealing with, that maybe he doesn't want to deal with being the public face of that anymore if anything else comes around. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you two things that came to my mind when I read it. And one was, well, shit, this is the time Texas poker really needs your name, Doug Polk. We need you battling the politicians to get poker legalized in Texas, not tuck your tail and run because you had a little dealing with the authorities recently. But then another part of me is, oh, poor guy, he was put through the ringer because of what the authorities did. And guess what? Nobody wants to go through that shit. Like your family is more important and your livelihood and who wants the stress of all that, right? So there's lots of different ways to look at it. And I would hope that even though publicly he's taken a step back, that he will still be working to get that legislation passed to legalize poker in Texas, because it's going to take names like his and others to make that happen. And when those big names step back, it's never a good thing in accomplishing that goal. So that's my 2 cents. John, did you have anything to say on it?
I mean, I kind of empathize with one of my favorite phrases I like to use with my students is I'm like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is like all the trouble you're going to go through worth the outcome? And if it's dragging his home life down and it's messing up his private stuff, and and at the end of the day, for what? Like for people who maybe are unappreciative of what he's doing anyway. Like I understand that side of it. Like I would, if it's messing up his mental and his happiness outside of the world of poker, then I would do the same thing. He's probably financially stable, so whatever. Like, I don't know. I come from it from that perspective. I get that a lot of people are going to question him because of the legal stuff and all that happened, but like, I figure he's probably just like, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm done.
Right on. Joe, what do you think? Joe, you still there? Does he still show a speaker, you guys?
I see it.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, so he may have just stepped away for a second. All right, Barry, what do you think, Bear? Barry. Uh-oh, did I lose Barry too? Oh no, lovely X is making us nuts. I see Joey's trying to come back in here. Let's see if he's back. Now Barry's down. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. Oh, gotta love X. Are you there, Joe?
I don't know what that Spaces is doing right now.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Do you have
Were
any
you
comments
asking a
about?
question? I'm sorry because it was
That's
all
okay.
mumble
We were
jumble.
talking. That's okay. We were talking about Doug Polk stepping back from the being in the public eye for the lodge. Any comments?
Yeah, I think You got to remember now that Doug is recently a dad, so
Right?
yeah. So, why balance? We talk about this. Go out, walk in the grass.
Right?
His life is not just poker, and people don't see that. But I give him a big, when I see him, I'm going to give him a big handshake and welcome to fatherhood. And don't think that he's not going to be circling back. But right now, he's got his priorities in the right place.
Thank you. Appreciate those comments. And I could not agree more. I'm over here at the beach with my family, having my priorities in the right place. Okay, you guys. 2 guys got booted from the PLO cash game at the Wynn yesterday. And cheating is suspected. They were talking in a foreign language, and then they started to pretend like they didn't know each other. So people at the table were like, wait a minute, they're just talking in a foreign language. They had to know to speak that language, right? So, anyway, a lot of people think that they are the 2 guys that are part of a cheating, crew that have been kicked out of places before. So there's a lot of people talking about them, and they were kicked out and probably banned, if I had to guess, from the Win now. But anybody hear anything else about that? And if not, it's okay. I just happened to run across that this morning. I was like, wow, that's pretty blatant. For sure. And then somebody else was on the rail or something that came up too, and they discovered that person was with them. And I guess the person that was losing was down lots and lots of cash. So it'll be interesting to see what else comes out about that, if anything. All right, you guys, let's go over the WSOP, shall we? Oh, before we do, I've got a couple of winners around town. Over at the Wynn, John, and I think it's why is it VPMI or oh no, it's XPMAI. Oh my god, I can't talk. XPMA, I believe. John XPMA took down the $1,100 turbo for $41,000. It's so bad when you can't read your own damn writing. Over at South Point, Michelle took down the 10 p.m. bounty for $1,256. Be reminded the South Point only puts the first names. Over at the Venetian, Kim LaJune, congratulations, young lady, took second place in event number 74, the $800 no limit $500,000 guaranteed tournament for $109,000. And the winner of that tournament was Daniel Primarino, I believe. Took that tournament down for $147,000. Steve Gross took second place in event number 77 at the Venetian, which was an $1,100 no limit, $200K guarantee. And he took home $31,000. So congrats to those winners around town. Now let's get on over to the WSOP, shall we? At I don't even have the times today. I'll tell you what, I'm in beach mode. Sometime today, event number 81 will get started, and it is day 1B of the $800 summer celebration. Event 78 will also start at some point today, day 3 of the $600 deep stack no limit tournament. $2.6 million in the prize pool, 5,177 runners, 50 remain. 282,000 waits at the top for the winner. Song Han is in first place with 6.3 million. Lisa Tan, congratulations. Lisa's in second place as far as chip stacks are concerned with 6.2 million. There's still lots of poker to be played. Good luck. Event number 82 will start at some point today. Day 1B, 10K main event will start today. That flight. Event number 80, 1 p.m., final day of that 10K 8-game mixed. There's 1.8 million in the prize pool, 199 runners, 12 remain, 431,000 at the top for the winner. Brian Rast is in first with 2.5 million. Alex Foxton has 2 million. Still in it to win it are Bryn Kenny and David Baker. Event number 79 will start at some point today, and that's the final day of the $3,000 freeze out. 4.7 million in the prize pool, 1,792 entries, 14 remain, 683,000 waits at the top for the winner. Andrew Moreno is in first place as far as chip stacks concerned for the second day in the row. He has 12 million. I think it's Moshi, has 10 million. So neck and neck going into the final day. And Dustin Murphy and Chris Moorman are still in it to win it. Event number 83 starts at some point today, day 2 of the $1,500 PLO double board bomb pot. High only 2.2 million in the prize pool, 1,673 entries, 227 remain, 322,000 at the top for the winner. Paul Felig has 799,000 and Camille DeBose has 595,000 in their chip stacks. Kahari, Lonis, Robert Mizuraki, Jack Trammell, which is Patricia's husband, who was at the meetup game with us. That's her husband. Jack is still in it to win it. Reichard and Matisau all still in it to win it. Event number 84, day 1, starts sometime today. $5,000 Super Turbo. The winners yesterday at the WSOP event number 72, the mini main, 11 million in the prize pool, 934 got paid, $1 million went to Dayask Ajita, I believe, from China. And I'm just going to spell this one. Jaehwa Son from Canada took down second place for 625,000. Event number 77 completed yesterday. That was a $2,500 mixed triple draw. 1.1 million in the prize pool. 77 got paid, and the winner was Patrick Stacy of the United States. Took home 223,000. Chai Tang of China took down second for 145,000. And the fourth place finisher was our friend Alan Kessler for 66,000. Event number 66 also closed yesterday. That was the 100K High Roller PLO tournament. 7.9 million in the prize pool. 13 got paid. 2.2 million went to D Negs. Congratulations, that may buy a diaper or two. Second place was a name we've heard quite a few times this summer, Arthur Martin Rosen. And he took home second and 1.4 million in that tournament. So anybody got any comments about any of that stuff? Winners, tournaments, whatever. Now is the time. All right, ASG, what other topics you want to bring up, my friend?
I think we covered pretty much all of them. Let me just check anything else. But I think day 1A was slightly down from last year, but July 4th weekend always makes the different days different.
Oh, you know what? You just reminded me that pardon me. I'm sorry, my throat is so scratchy today. Well, I thought I took a screenshot of, or did I put it in, pardon me, our chat. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to find who is it that gave us, is it Anu or AROR always puts out a lot of stats for us? And this is what his tweet is. WSOP turnout is looking much healthier than it did at the start of the series. The PLO is up, mixed games are up, Monster Stack, Mystery Millions, Mini Main are all up, High Rollers are down. Overall, all attendance is tracking closely with last year's series. So there you
Sorry, I'm not sure if we
go.
lost.
Nutshell. So, uh-oh. Me?
Yeah, I was about to say you're kind of breaking up on my end. I don't know if it's just me.
Oh, must be because I have not moved. I am sitting in one spot. John, can you hear me okay or am I breaking up?
You're breaking up a little bit, but I can hear you most
What
of
the
the time.
hell?
It's just a gap every so often.
Yeah, you're good now, I think. But
Okay. Must be the satellite moving around. I love saying that. And Isaac's like, what are you talking about, Sherry? I always say it must be the satellite turning. My service is going in and out. Barry, what you got for us, buddy?
Nah, I got none. You heard it all
All
already.
right.
You want me to call
All right.
Fat Deep Fat again? I'll do that for you.
Stop it. Be nice.
actually, I want to add something to like what we were just saying. So
Sure.
they're saying the low buys are up and the high rollers are down. So I think it's going to be interesting to see, like, because those prediction markets have put the odds of a 10K main at like 25-30%, and I don't want to say one means the other, but if it doesn't get over 10K, it makes me question how much of the low buy-ins are rebuys versus more people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Interesting. And of course, 250, that's a drop in the bucket. That's a tip on a lot of people's dinner bill, right? So, yeah, it would be interesting. I would love to see, and of course, we'll never get it from the operators, but I would love to see the breakdown of entries, number of rebuys, the whole thing. I would love to see that, and of course, we'll never get to see that. But point well made. What'd you think of Helmut's entrance? Nobody's brought that up. I
Oh,
can't believe it.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I thought it was. I think they get more cringe every year, personally.
It is cringy. God dang. And I loved Kurt Sutter retweeted and said, "Hey, why didn't anybody put tape over his bulbs like you've been putting tape over the WPG patches?" Oh, thankfully I didn't see the bulge. But I'm just going to take her word for that whole scenario there. Oh my God. It's cringy. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched about 20 seconds. I was like, okay, I get the point. Let me go. Like, oh, you guys. Why? Why? Oh, go ahead, ASG.
Okay, I do have something I want to bring up because I joked about how I recommended to Plaid, but I just want to see what you think because you're the one who's big on the clicks and the this and the that. So
Yes.
day one.
Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not big into trying to
No.
get
I
clicks.
mean, in
I'm
terms of
big
what
into
gets the
calling
clicks.
them out. Yeah, I would just want to make a point for my
Yeah.
audience. I'm the one that's calling it out that people are doing it for clicks. So go ahead.
Okay.
I knew what you meant.
So I'm looking at one covers. They're showing different Helmuths. They're showing Adrian Mateos. They're showing Jason Kuhn and what's his name, Smith, Dan Smith. All these big name pros are at the feature table, and
Okay.
then they go to the side tables, and I'm like, why isn't this NFL Pro Bowler on the feature table, or these UFC guys, like the actual quote unquote celebrities? Like, I think that would both get more views and you talk about good for poker, add to the poker is cool to play scenario much more than like showing these inside pros, especially when it comes to coverage later. That's my opinion.
Well, and don't you think that sometimes, you know, they forget that we don't want to keep seeing the same people over and over. And I'm like, how many times can I watch Helmuth? How many times can I watch D Next? Like, we want to see different people featured. Like, I don't want to see the same old, same old. There's like two people right now I could say I don't mind if I watch them every day, and that's Jen Tilly and Alan Keating. Why? Because they make the poker table fun, right? I love that. But there are so many that, it's the same thing with articles in publications. We're always interviewing the same people after they bust out or make a deep run. We've got to do better, do our homework, stop being lazy and stop going for the easy layups. We as reporters, media folks have to, go after those stories that people want to hear about. We don't want to always hear the same old, same old. Oh, sorry, I'm on my soapbox. Anybody else got an opinion on that? Go ahead, ASG. I saw your mic was up.
I saw Joey's hand was up. My mic was.
Oh, I don't even see his hand up. Sorry, Joey. I don't even see your hand up. Go ahead, buddy. Oh, God. X is active
No, I mean, yeah,
nuts,
that's
isn't it?
good. All right, so I agree 100%. So back in the day when they used to film, really couldn't really know who was going to go deep and who didn't go deep. So we had a lot of feature tables with everyday folks. And I'll never forget the year that they showed this young woman in like day one, day two, and then all of a sudden, day three, she's there. And next thing you know, she was the last woman standing. And that was Tiffany Michelle. You remember that year? Like, we learned about Tiffany
2009,
Michelle
I
and her
think. Yeah.
story from the
Yeah.
beginning, not like after they're superstars. Like, these are everyday people. Like, bring it back, like we want to follow the stories, the special interest stories and stuff.
Right. And honestly, I equate some of that to just laziness. Like, it's not an easy layup for me to have to go find out who is this lady, research her, try to come up with her storyline, from what I research her on. Like, it's easier just to wait for Helmuth to do something and then, oh, we're going to do a feature on Helmuth. Go ahead, Barry.
Well, I think that was the original purpose of the whole November 9th thing, to give them a chance to find these people, track them,
Right.
go to their houses, and do a little bio on them. But it kind of fell flat after a while.
Well, and I will say the Poker Go folks have a database of players that they refer to when they're going to do a featured table. And I don't know if the WSOP has something like that or access to that. Maybe they need to pay Poker Go for that database. I don't know. I just know that we need to be featuring some people we don't know. I mean, otherwise, guess what? That's where the media coverage starts and stops with the 10 or 15 people we know. And it's never going to progress because we stay focused on the 10 or 15 instead of the thousands of others. Go ahead, John.
All right. So before I make my statement, I'm going to say I agree 100% with you guys that I would love to have the stories like they used to be with we get to find out some nobody and their story. Like I love all of that and I think that would make poker great again. The problem is, I think it's logistically when they don't have as much advertising money as they did back in the ESPN day, because it costs so much to record and film a bunch of people and only know like it's kind of a gamble. You never know who's going to be the one that turns into a story. So logistically, I just don't know that they have the ability to do as much of that. So while I get what you're saying, I don't know that it's necessarily laziness as much as it's just they don't have the resources and ability to do it as like they used to.
Okay, 2 points. The WSOP is making millions of dollars. Second of all, and this is not aimed at you, so don't think it is. But for me, second of all, is it's not even about having a video of the person who is a nobody making it to the final table ahead of time. It's when they're doing the coverage that they have these people that we don't know, and they're not bringing any information about them to the coverage. And so when you're at the coverage, afterwards we find out, oh, this was a vet who did this and blah, 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 where that should have been during the coverage given out. Like it, to me, that's laziness that people are going into that coverage unprepared. And let's face it, we have information superhighway at our fingertips. And when I did a booth, I had 10 players going to be at my table. And I think there were 6 alternates. I researched and came up with something on each of those players ahead of time. So when I went in the booth, I could say something about those players. It didn't take very long. Google searches are really quick in the world of poker. And it's not that hard to do. And it doesn't have to be a novel, it could just be, you know, 45, 30 seconds of what they do in life or why they're here or what their story's about. I just think that is the way to keep the audience is let them get a personal connection with whoever's at that table. And the only way to do that is for us to hear the story about that person so we have something to relate to. And I'm sorry, but it is super quick to do a Google search on somebody. And I've even done interviews before where I've said, "Hey, I Google searched you. I didn't find jack shit out about you, so I've come up with some stuff, and I'm going to see if it sticks to the wall as I throw it." I mean, yeah, Google's not perfect, but 90% of the time, you're going to be able to find out something about someone that you can talk about in the booth and introduce us to that person on a more one-on-one level. So that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I think that's valid. I since I teach video production and multimedia, I think a lot of people don't understand, and you do. And so this isn't about you either, but
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of effort that goes into like a 30-second, 1 minute clip of someone's background. Like that takes way more than just 1 minute to make. And I think a lot of people miss that. So I think that whoever's doing the production
I
probably
agree.
does. Like I think ESPN threw so much money at poker back in 2003 through to 2010 because they had like the Jack Links and Miller's bet or whatever the beers were and all stuff, so they had so much advertising money they could throw resources at it. I just don't think that exists in 2026. So yes, I would love way more personal stories of people we don't know. I would love all that, but like when you limited resources, I think they're just going with what they can. That's just my guess.
Well, and I agree as far as the videos. They used to do a lot of videos about the players and showed to us before the table started, blah, 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 blah. I get that. I'm talking about just having simple facts about the person to present as the game starts on the felt, and you're just in the booth saying, "Hey, let me give you a little background about this person." No video involved, just some background about the person. And it isn't, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I haven't watched a lot of coverage, but the coverage I have watched, those stories are coming out afterwards. Well, in my eyes, you're blowing it as far as production is concerned. If you're not capitalizing on making a personal connection between that player and your audience when you're on air. That's just my personal opinion. And guess what? That's my 2 cents, John. If you have anything else you'd like to add, you go right ahead.
No, I think I think we're in agreement. I think we're just looking at different aspects of it. I think we agree that the stories are the most important part to get people
Yeah.
connected. I just how you get people was to pay attention to it and hear it or watch it is, and how to make that happen. I think is where we're slightly not even disagreement, just where our focuses are in different spots.
Well, because I'm just saying what I'm saying because you're saying it's too expensive. We can't do it now, but
Well,
we can do it just a different
that was
way.
more in response to, and I'm not even disagreeing with ASG. That was just like in a response to the Tiffany Michelle anecdote. Like I agree that was and I didn't like her story at the end because I like her now, but the story they told at the time, I didn't like the way she was the portrayed like a spoiled brat at the final. You know what I mean? Like if you look back at that one, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on it, but I'm just saying I think that was a response to why we don't get more specific deep dives on players because it's harder to cast a wide net to so many people. That's
Got it. Got it. And I'm going to tell you, I can do without her commentary. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, so like back in the day, it was a big production. Like they had a green
Yep.
room, they had to put the player in the green room. If the player wanted to supply photos, they had to be scanned and uploaded. But with today's modern like digital world, it's so easy to put everything together. And you just ask the player, tell us 3 interesting things about you and support it with some videos or footage or yada yada yada. And it's
What
just
if, I mean, what if they said to us a month before the WSOP started, "Hey, we now have a website for you to go in on and enter some data about you that we can use when you make one of our featured tables. We can search that database and use the data you provide for us to support our booth and what we say about you." Every person in the world of poker would have no problem doing that because we all have egos and we all want to make sure that information's being disseminated about us correctly. And we would be more than happy to put that information in my opinion. Go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, and I know we've kind of covered it, but the main thing also is that, and this goes with coverage also, but it goes with everything, is that, I also would talk about this when I compare Big Brother to Survivor, is when we're watching the World Series of Poker when Moneymaker was there. We watched in September when they already knew who won. So they could going back to, they'll have edited episodes. Well, even the edited episodes won't be after the whole thing's over, or even like, so they don't know who will, like, even with Tiffany Michelle, with having that coverage, they had some coverage of Tiffany Michelle, but they were able to, now that she went deep, go back and talk to her more to get her story because they knew she went deep. So now you show on the coverage and you don't know if they're going to get eliminated hand four. So, like, it makes it definitely more challenging, because now it's like, well, do I feature this person or do I feature Ricky because he's playing these fun hands? Like, what do I do? Because I don't know the final result. So it's a completely different world than, like, and that's why I talk about Big Brother versus Survivor, because, like, Big Brother, they air the episodes and they don't know who's going to win yet because it's all live. Survivor, it's all been done before and they know who's going to win it, so they can do a winner edit. And we're more like the Big Brother aspect, where we have no idea who's going to even make the final table, much less win when we start this.
Right on. Right on. Right on. Joey, did you have anything else to add, buddy?
That database is dope. Like, because then you could attach your socials. Like, everything is there. Like, what a great idea.
Thank
Now
you.
they don't literally, like, you can have the powers that be walk over and say, this is going to be the feature table. Here's your release. And this is the first time they're gathering your socials and your bio. Like, so that, you're right. It's like Big Brother shit. Like, it's like got to be in real time, and they don't know what's going on. And just put a little thought into it. That's all.
I think there's easy workarounds for sure. But something, like, give us something. We want to know more about this person other than, oh, he just, shoved 10 big blinds, blah, 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 blah. All right, go ahead, Isaac.
Born in a back alley card room, raised in a back alley casino, brought on to. Now I'm playing. If I were to have the ability to, like, make my own fucking,
I was waiting to see where the hell you were
ah,
going with
I
this,
would have
man.
kept going, but yo, no, but for real, I
We
think
would have let you.
that's a fantastic idea, though. For real, I
Oh yeah,
think
and
that
Thank you.
if people could do it in that sense, just think about, it does make the job easier on the end product. And I totally
Right.
agree with ASG. Like, it really is Survivor versus Big Brother. Like, one thing I would say, the only thing I would say is, I hear WSOP ads a lot about, oh, vloggers, vloggers, vloggers. What they really need is, they need a bigger crew. They don't just need vloggers. They need people out there, like, with cameras that are ready to, like, catch moments, because that's why not enough is caught. Obviously,
Well,
it's
and
not,
I'm going to say too that I really think that this year was growing pains. You've got a new company, a new group of people, a new production staff, a new office staff, everything was new. And so there's a big learning curve, and we're spoiled by what had been put in place that is no longer in place. And so we're sort of looking at the old saying, hey, we want that, but it's really new people. And we can't get the old because it's new people. And so I think that, your suggestion of more, camera crews around and whatever, I think that's all going to evolve in the next year or two. They have three separate production crews for the three different tables at the Thunderdome. And yet, where's the footage? Like, why isn't there footage like 15 hours a day? We have three whole crews. Why isn't there coverage 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day? if we have 3 crews manning those 3 tables? You know, and we don't have the answers to that. I'm not saying that as a diss. I'm just saying, why don't we? And what's holding that back? And, you know, what are those crews doing if they're not running those tables? Like, what are they doing? Like, do they have other duties they have to do in the daytime or during the other off times? And that's why we don't have those 3 tables, you know, live coverage for X amount of hours a day. I don't know. But I think that these growing pains are going to turn into a better WSOP next year because hopefully the powers that be are going to look at it and go, okay, this is where we need to grow. And we need to make sure we let Sherry know so she can disseminate that it's a pay-per-view and not free, is one topic, you know, and so we can help support that if we know. And I'll be happy to support that, but I got to know about it. Go ahead, ASG.
Okay, yeah, I guess this was partially my bad because I knew that they were advertising this on ESPN Plus. Like the schedule's been out for I forget what length of time, but just to go back to the other thing, and yes, this counters some of what I'm saying as well when it comes to like how much ahead of time you want to pick tables, but also I was just looking at Kev Matt's post this morning that right now 1,404 people have signed up, bought in for the main event, and that includes the 772 people that played day 1A. So only 700, less than 700 people have signed up already for day 1. So when you talk about those packages, usually, I guess, 80% of the people just buy in right there. So there's like, you don't have a couple of 100 people that you could even ask about doing that first part about submitting things early.
Wait a minute, you just lost me,
Well,
brother.
you were saying something about when you buy in, you could like submit stuff about yourself and this and that. And I'm saying that people buy in like on the day and then go right to the tables. Basically, they don't really buy in early because
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so you're referencing my data collection.
correct.
Yes? Okay. I said to do it a month before the WSOP starts so that any player that's playing any event enters their data so that no matter what stream table they end up on, the seniors event, the ladies event, the $600 this, the $400 that featured table, we have the data in that database for whoever's working the booth to access.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the main.
No, all of the whole WSOP, because I think every table featured, every person on every table featured deserves to have that information disseminated from the booth to acknowledge who they are as a poker player and as a person. Go ahead, Joey.
And to piggyback that, right in the WSOP Live, if you click on your photo, there's a My Story button where you could upload photos, you could link, you can fill it as much as you want. The app is already primed for it, but nobody's being encouraged to use it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. And maybe they need to bill that as, hey, if you enter this information here, when you're on a featured table, we would be able to refer to your information to tell your story. I mean, maybe that's an approach that needs to be had. I don't know. And again, I look at it as they're too busy doing other stuff the first year that they can't get, into such a micromanaged position on that right now. Like they have bigger fish to fry. That's what comes to my mind about that. But yeah, that would be great if they could use that. Kudos. It's the way to go. John Robertson, how are you enjoying your summer break, buddy?
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And you playing any poker lately or what?
Nah, I just tweeted at Craig Tapiscott about that. I was like, I love poker. I love the game. It's one of my favorite things in the world. But like, my daughter's growing up, so I have prioritized travel with her and doing things with her over poker right now.
Hell
So
yeah.
like, I'm gonna get back to the game when she probably goes to college. But for now, like, whatever,
Sure.
it's more about just spend time with my kid while she's here.
Absolutely. And I saw on your timeline you're trying to decide between two new vehicles. So first of all, which vehicle are you getting rid of?
No, I sold the Viper. Somebody made me a good offer on the Viper, so I
Oh,
sold
okay.
it. So now I've just got some extra cash laying around that's earmarked for a new car.
So tell us the choices you narrowed it down to.
Well, I mean, no one's going to really care about this share. Like, I honestly, I don't think anybody cares about my stupid problems, but like, I can either get a new Toyota Supra and have extra money left over to just put in investments, or I might buy a new BMW M2. That's my choices.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I've been a BMW owner. I don't know if you have, but they are pieces of shit.
Well, fair. I think, I don't know. Like, seriously, I really don't think people are going to care about this, but I just,
It's just a fun
oh, I know.
conversation,
No, I
John.
got you. I could talk. I'm so used to people telling me they're tired of hearing me talk about cars that I just assume that everybody else is tired of hearing me talk about cars. It's a nice problem to have, right? Like, it's nice to be able to,
Yeah.
because if you want like the actual story, like not to bore people, but like my dad, I saved the money for my Viper. I paid cash for it back in 2020. It's the last thing my dad and I did together was search for that car and pay for it and buy it and everything. So I had a hard time selling it, but then the guy made me an offer I absolutely couldn't say no to. So what are you gonna do?
Good for you. Good for you. I vote for the Supra because BMWs suck and they're
Well,
pieces of shit.
you
And
know
to
this.
verify that, wait a minute, but to verify that information, I got that right from the head mechanic of the BMW dealership that I used to take my car in for repairs. And when I took him for a test drive, when I picked up my car, which was on the way to get traded in when it broke down and I had to take it back to his shop, him and I took a ride because I wanted to test drive it before I took it out of his shop. And during that ride, he said to me, ma'am, these cars are only built for 50,000 miles. So make sure the next time you buy one, you get rid of it before 50,000 miles because that's when they're supposed to start breaking down. This is the head mechanic of the BMW dealership, not too far from where I live. So there you go, people.
You realize the Toyota Supra is made by BMW, right?
Listen, listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Mere technicalities. Go ahead, Isaac.
No, I was gonna say actually this is actually something interesting to me. John, I would definitely go with the Supra because regardless if it's made by BMW, it's still made to Toyota standards, and the Supra's a fire car. I love the Supra. I've been in one. I think it's a great ride. BMWs, I know someone who's a BMW Mercedes mechanic actually very closely, and I can verify what Sherry says because I know someone who owns 9 AMGs. He only buys AMGs. He has just about all of the coolest models from 1999 up until now. His cars are always in the shop, yo, for nothing.
Oh,
Like
and
for nothing.
did I ever mention that I used to work in an auto repair shop? I actually managed one before. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, but buy what you
Well,
want.
okay. So
And
we're gonna go look at a Supra this week. I put a deposit down so they don't pre-sell it to somebody else. We're gonna go look at one this week.
okay.
If that doesn't work out and like or whatever, because honestly, I'm a little nervous about being too tall for the car. I don't know if you guys have sat in a new Supra. They're kind of not good for tall people, and so we'll see
Okay.
how. And I mean, I'm not super tall. I'm 6'1", but like I'm worried about being able to see street lights.
Right.
So we're gonna go
Right.
test drive it, and I'm really excited about it, and we'll
Nice.
see what happens. My wife she prefers the Supra to the BMW. We test drove the M2 the other day, and it's fast. It's ridiculously fast, but it doesn't feel like a special sports car. It just feels like a fast car.
I'm gonna tell you something. I loved my Beamer. I'm all about the drive of my Beamer. I love that car, but it was a piece of
Well,
shit. I love that car. I love that car, but I would never, ever in a million years drive one
My
again.
wife is lobbying for if we don't get the Supra, she wants a Lotus. She wants a Lotus Emira, and I'm like, I agree with her that it's beautiful, but I'm a little nervous about Lotus maintenance.
Yeah, that's probably a $2,000 oil change. But go ahead, Isaac.
Going back to that, yeah, Lotus sounds wild. I have seen some pretty cool ones. It depends on what you want. Like Exec Deck, for example. Exec Deck has a Porsche that's pretty goddamn sweet, and I believe his is electric. But then comes the whole thing if you want gas versus electric. And final thing I will say is that the dopest Beamer I have ever been in for speed and comfort is a 7 Series Alpina
Oh
that I
yeah,
used to
those things
drive.
are fantastic. But 7 Series depreciate
Yo,
like so fast.
it's so sad. And the Alpina is such a rare car that like something gets messed up, you got to send it away for like 8 months because it has to be custom painted.
Oh, hell
It's a
no.
pain in the ass. But let me tell you though, when that car
Hell
is
no.
all the way new in working order, wow. Just
And I'm just going to add this: if you have a damn Porsche that's electric, you should lose your car card, your man card. If you have a damn Porsche exec deck and it's electric, you are losing your Porsche card, dude. Come on, what the
it,
Well,
freak?
it's
so
it's
speak.
hella dope though. It's hella
Speaking
dope.
of that, like the Porsche Boxster and Cayman, the values are really high right now on used ones because they're not making new ones, and because they said they were going to make the new version electric, and nobody wanted it.
It's my wife's car. It's my wife's car. Don't blame me.
Okay,
Don't
fair
blame me.
enough, fair enough.
But like so Porsche actually pulled the plug on their electric Boxster Cayman, so now like it's going to be years before they put out the new ones. So the values on those have gone through the roof.
And have you seen gas prices? I mean, come
The-
on, give me a break.
They're coming down.
Okay, but the Porsche, look, the Porsche is good on gas, dude. Come on. How many miles to a gallon?
My alternative is my F-250 diesel, and here in California, it's 7.50 a gallon.
Well, that's because that's California's problem with all the taxes on their gas. I don't feel no sorry for no Californian complaining about gas tax. Sorry. Sorry, you're never going to win that battle with me. Nope.
Hey,
Time to
as a Californian, I would never argue it either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I know,
Well,
buddy.
It,
if
it,
you
I
grew up
know.
here in the 80s and you had what we called smog lung, then we are
ah.
happy to pay the taxes, but not all the inflated prices. So
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. I hear you.
Hey, but yo, I'm gonna say something real crazy about Californians. If you were a smog baby such as myself, I gotta say, yo, when I smell exhaust now, it's just not the same quality.
You are crazy. Ah, Isaac, you are crazy. All right, you guys, I'm going to go around the horn because there's a beach calling my name. And I'd love to take all of you with me, but that's not happening. So I'm going to go around the horn. If you got anything you want to say, bring up. Now is the time before we break it down. Barry, I'm going to start with you. He may have dozed off, bless him. He said he was going to take a nap because it's too damn hot to be outside today. Sleep, sweet dreams, Barry, sweet dreams. Joey, how about you, buddy? Got anything you want to bring up or add or
TGIF.
TGIF? Are
Yeah.
you playing today? What are you doing today?
I was invited to Tyler Patterson's house for a party, so that's going to be fun.
Oh my God, you give him a hug and tell him I said hello.
I will, 100%.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yep.
All right, John, you're next, buddy. Anything you like to add or
Yeah, I
bring
just
up?
want everyone to enjoy their 250th celebration of the 4th of July this weekend. Make sure you don't blow off any fingers and take a moment to appreciate our country may not be perfect, but it's the greatest that we have in the world. So let's all celebrate that.
Amen. And don't forget, no drinking and driving, people. No drinking and driving. Gotta say that. Exec deck, you want to add anything to that? You electronic porch driver, you?
I have a great 4th of July. Appreciate all you guys. Really enjoy the spaces with you guys all the time and getting to meet some of you in person. You are very appreciated and make my life enjoyable to some extent. So thanks. Take care. Be safe.
Appreciate you, Exec deck, and you know I do. And if you haven't, I did mention this a little earlier, but please watch Lexy Gavin Mathers' new video on her experience in the ladies' event. Um, I've been a big fan of hers. I've interviewed her. I consider her a friend. But she did a little section in there about me and the quilt that I had made and raised money for the Poker Gives charity. We raised $1,150 to feed the homeless in Vegas. So I would appreciate if you guys gave it a view to help build up her views on that video. Because I appreciate her featuring me in my quilt. So kudos to her for that. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Kudos to her for that feature for sure. ASG, anything else, buddy?
Yeah, if you're in my area of New York, stay safe. It's like 101 right now with a high of 103. Also, it's going to be like 100 tomorrow. I don't know if that affects if you're wagering on the hot dog eating contest, but keep that in mind. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Go ahead, Exec Deck.
Where can I find her YouTube or Twitter to watch
All
that?
right. Let me pull it up. Hold on a minute. So I retweeted it is one way, but let me get her handle. It's Lexy Lexy Gavin Gavin Poker. Lexy Gavin Poker. And I did retweet
Lexy
it.
Gavin. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
Gavin.
Yep. Thank you
Gotcha.
for
Thank
asking.
you.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Who did I forget? I did Joey, John, Barry, Isaac. How about you, buddy?
Good luck to John in his car pursuit. Let us know what happens. I'm interested in knowing that. Joey, thanks again, brother, for another fantastic lesson. Barry, you fucking legend. ASG, you as well. Fucking exec deck, love you, bro. And everybody else, thanks for joining us. And have a good day at the beach here. TGIF, everybody.
Appreciate you, Isaac. And, John didn't think we wanted to talk about cars, and yet I think we went about 15 or 20 minutes.
So just to explain that, like I've been wrestling with this decision for weeks, right? And like everyone in my house is tired of hearing about it. So I just assume that everybody in the world is tired of hearing about it.
Well, none of us are in your house, so none of us are having those discussions until today with you, buddy. So you can vent it to us. You can vent it to us and still enjoy the conversation.
This is the safe
We're
place,
not sick
bro.
of it yet.
This is the safe
It's a
place.
safe place. I appreciate everybody joining us today. And tomorrow, Papa Poker will be with us, and we'll see what he's doing at the WSOP. As we talked about a moment ago, be safe out there with those fireworks, folks, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend celebrating our great nation, the United States of America, 250 years of independence from that UK people. And I say that jokingly because I have friends over there. God bless America. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be here tomorrow, but we're going to kind of keep it short tomorrow so that everybody can go out to their festivities and get ready and so on and so forth tomorrow. We'll keep it short for sure. Appreciate all of you. God bless America and happy birthday, America. Land that I love.